What's up, you freaking geniuses? So let's go over this problem right here. So it says write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through the given point, -1, -7, and is perpendicular to the graph of 3x plus 12y is equal to -6. All right, so the first thing we want to do here is rewrite this equation that it gives us, 3x plus 12y is equal to -6, and we want to rewrite it in slope-intercept form, which is this equation right here. Y is equal to mx plus b. So as you can see, we basically just have to get y by itself, right? So here we just need to solve for y. We need to isolate y. So let's write it over here. So 3x plus 12y is equal to -6. So the first thing we can do is get rid of this 3x by subtracting 3x from both sides. Those cancel out. So then we're just left with 12y is equal to -3x minus 6. Now we can get rid of this 12 by dividing both sides by 12. So then here they cancel out, and we're just left with y is equal to -3 divided by 12 is equal to -3/12, and we can reduce that down to -1/4, right? And then we still have our x right there. And then here, -6 divided by 12 is equal to -6/12, which reduces down to -1/2, right? So -1/2. Okay, great. So now that we rewrote this equation in slope-intercept form, you can see that we can see the slope a little bit more clearly, right? So remember, m, basically the number that's attached to the x, is your slope. So here you can see that the slope of this line, or this equation, is -1/4. Okay, so if we want to find the slope that's perpendicular to this equation, or basically this equation, we have to take the opposite reciprocal of our slope. So here the slope, I'll just write it out, is equal to -1/4. But to find the perpendicular slope, and that's just a little perpendicular symbol, we have to take, again, the opposite reciprocal of this. So when I say opposite, I mean we have to flip the sign, or change the sign. So here it's negative, so for this slope, it's going to be positive. And we have to take the reciprocal of the fraction. So in other words, we have to flip it. So instead of 1/4, we're going to have 4/1, okay? So the perpendicular slope is positive 4/1, and 4/1 is just the same thing as 4, right? So +4. Okay, so now that we have the perpendicular slope, we can plug this into the slope-intercept equation right here. So again, it's just y is equal to mx plus b, but now we know what the slope is, right? Of the perpendicular line, it's 4. So let's plug in a 4 right there. So we're going to say that y is equal to 4x plus b, all right? So as you can see, we don't have a number here for b, right? And b is our y-intercept. So the way that we can figure out what b is by plugging in the point right here that it gave us, because the equation of this line runs through this point. So let's plug this point in for, well, it gives us our x coordinate and our y coordinate, right? So we know what x and y are here. So let's plug it in for x and y over here and then see what we get for b. So x is -1 and y is -7, right? So here we're going to get -7 is equal to 4 times -1 and then plus b. So here we get -7 is equal to -4 plus b. And then here, to solve for b, we can add 4 to both sides. So -7 plus 4 is equal to -3, right? So we get -3 is equal to b. Okay, cool. So now we know what b is equal to. So now let's just plug it back in right here for b. And I'll just rewrite it down here. So it's going to be y is equal to 4x minus 3. Okay, so this is the equation that is perpendicular to this equation and that runs through this point, -1, -7. So if you found the video helpful, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, just let me know in the comment section below.